Welcome to Marathon UPSC YouTube channel. Today we are going to speak about parliamentary system in the subject of political science. The Constitution of India provides for parliamentary system of government. We have different articles regarding. Article 74 and Article 75 deals with the parliamentary system at the center, and the Article 163 and 164 deals with the parliamentary system of corresponding state governments in India. In the democratic system we have two systems. One include the parliamentary system of democracy and other is the presidential system of democracy. The parliamentary system of democracy is followed by the countries like Britain, Japan, Canada and India, whereas the presidential system, that is non-parliamentary system of democracy, is followed by countries like United States of America, Brazil, USA, Sri Lanka and other countries. This parliamentary system of government is known as the cabinet government or responsible government or the Westminster model of the government. Ivor Jennings, who can be regarded as the political science person, he called the parliamentary system as the cabinet system and the parliamentary system as responsible government when compared to the presidential system. Now we are going to see the features of both parliamentary government and the presidential government. The features of parliamentary government include the nominal and real executive, majority party rule, collective responsibility, political homogeneity, double membership, leadership of prime minister, dissolution of lower house, secrecy. We are going to see each topic in detail. Nominal and real executive. President is the nominal executive, whereas the Prime Minister is the real executive. Article 74 provides for the Council of Ministers headed by the Prime Minister to aid and advise the President. Majority rule. After the elections, the party which gains the majority of the vote will be welcomed by the president to form the government, and the leader of the party will become either the chief minister or prime minister with regards to center. And in case if there is no clear or absolute majority, the president shall welcome to form a coalition government. Collective responsibility. In collective responsibility, the ministers are collectively responsible for parliament in general. That is for Lok Sabha and the state legislative assembly. The ministers are collectively responsible to the parliament in general and also to the Lok Sabha as per the Article 75, which I already mentioned. The collective responsibility in the sense they all together, the party, the system, all together work as a team, they swim together and they sink together, and the government will lose once if the no confidence motion is passed. Next comes the political homogeneity. The members of the same political party will belong to the same council of ministership. So it means the council of ministers all share the same political ideology. Double membership. The ministers are the members of both legislature and the executive. This means a person can't be a minister without being a minister of parliament. A constitution also extends that a minister can be appointed, that is, any person can be appointed as a minister provided he should get a membership of a parliament whether in the Lok Sabha or in the Rajya Sabha within the 6 months. Leadership of the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister plays the leadership role in the system of the government. Next comes the dissolution of the lower house. Dissolution of the lower house occurs when the no confidence motion is passed, and the dissolution of the lower house is done by the president along with the aid and advice of the prime minister. This means the executive has a considerable right to get involved into the legislature in the case of dissolving the parliamentary system. Secrecy. Ministers Ministers are into the secrecy of procedure. So they take oath of secrecy before entering their office. This oath of secrecy is administered by Honorable President. Next comes the features of presidential government. As I already mentioned, this presidential form of government is followed by countries like United States of America, where the president is elected by the electoral college for the term of 4 years, and he is assisted by a small body called kitchen cabinet. And this kitchen cabinet consists of non-elected members, and the members who are present in the kitchen cabinet are directly appointed by the president, and the members of the kitchen cabinet enjoys the tenure only by the president, and if the president removes from their membership of the kitchen cabinet, they are ultimately removed from the membership of kitchen cabinet. President cannot dissolve the House of Representatives. In the parliamentary system of government, the president can dissolve the lower house. This is a distinguished principle when comparing both presidential government and the parliamentary government. The doctrine of separation of power is the basic and unique criteria in the presidential form of government. For example, the American president is both the head of the state and the head of the government, and this is not the same case when we compare this system with the parliamentary system of government. Now coming into the merits and demerits of parliamentary system of government. It includes the harmony relation between legislature and executive, wherein there is reduced conflicts between legislature and executive. Responsible government. The parliamentary, as I already mentioned, the parliamentary system is more responsible. They have devices like question hour, discussions, adjournment motion, no confidence motion, where every bill that enters into the parliament is thoroughly discussed and voted upon. Prevents despotism, meaning the executive authority is vested in a group of individuals, the Council of Ministers, and not a single person, and every minister and every parliamentarian, every legislator is elected by the people in their constituency, so they can be held responsible and accountable. This prevents a way of despotism, and the executive is responsible to the parliament, and they can be removed by no confidence motion. Ready alternative government. In the parliamentary system, there is something called opposition party and the leader of opposition party. Dr. Ivor Jennings says the leader of opposition is the alternative to the prime minister, which means there is a ready alternate government. If the government in the power loses the confidence, maybe the leader of the opposition party can be called down to form a new government by the president. Widespread representation. Every parliamentarian, every legislator is being elected by the people in their constituency. There is widespread representation inside the parliament from every corner and every constituency in the country. Demerits of the parliamentary system. Unstable government, no continuity in the policies, dictatorship of the cabinet, against the separation of powers and the government by amateurs. Unstable government. When the government loses the confidence, the floor of confidence, the government headed by the prime minister can lose the power. There is no continuity of policies. The parliamentary system, we have a prime minister for 5 years, and after a general election, we may have the prime minister from the other party as well. So there can be circumstances wherein there can be a disruption in the continuity of a scheme or policy. Dictatorship of the cabinet. If the party enjoys the absolute majority, there are possibilities where the leader of the majority party or the majority party can enjoy dictatorship, since they are majority inside the floor of the parliament. Now, the reasons for adopting parliamentary system. Once we got independence from the British government, we are left with a chance of two systems that I already mentioned, that is parliamentary system and presidential system. We Indians chose, and the fathers who drafted the Indian constitution chose for adopting the parliamentary system for few reasons, like familiarity with the system, that is, we are ruled by the British people before 1947. Since we got independence from the British rule and the colonial era, as per Mr. K. M. Muchi that argument that for the last 30 or 40 odd years, some kind of responsibility has been introduced in the governance of this country, and this experience should continue, and we should not go back to the novel experience, which means we should adopt a responsible government, that is the parliamentary system of government, rather relying on to the presidential form of government. Preference to more responsibility. Father of Constitution Dr. B. R. Ambedkar stressed upon two major things, that is stability and responsibility. But as a failure, both presidential system and parliamentary system dares to give both at the same time. Why? Because the presidential system is not so responsible, but that is more stable, and the parliamentary system is more responsible and at times they fails to be stable, is the reason behind. And the nature of Indian society. Indian society is very diverse, and the parliamentary system can better provide for representation inside the parliament from various constituencies in the country. And in 1947, there comes a discussion whether we have to adopt a parliamentary system or presidential system. As per the recommendations of a Swaran Singh committee, we continue to have a parliamentary system of democracy. The next comes, why is there is any distinction between British parliamentary system and Indian parliamentary system? Yes, there are distinctions between Indian parliamentary system and the British model of parliamentary system. Why? Because Indian is a republic system. Indian government is a republican system, whereas the British is a monarchical system, where our president is an executive and he is an elected person, and their nominal head is a king or a queen, enjoys a hereditary position. British system is based on the doctrine of sovereignty of parliament, whereas we Indians believe in judicial review, federal system, and fundamental rights. The British government may have something called shadow cabinet. We Indians do not have things called shadow cabinet. In Britain, the member of the lower house, that is the House of Commons, can only be the Prime Minister. Whereas in India, a person can be a Prime Minister provided he can be a member of either Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. Anything is fine. In Britain, the members of parliament are allowed to be appointed as the president, whereas the Indian model of parliamentary system, anyone can be appointed as the president provided he fulfills the eligibility criteria, and after assigning the post of president, he can become the member of the parliament either in Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha within the period of 6 months. Thank you for listening.